Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I'm Luce, and tonight, well, I'm doing the range DPS role quest, the final one of the set, or at least for now. The master role quest will be coming later, but as you can see, I am Dancer. To steal a steel hog. Rahulja's eyes are full of expectation, or is it just dust? Greetings, so we've decided to aid my people in receiving our treasure, yes? They'll be glad to know my long and arduous journey from our homeland, the distant south of Yuktarol, was not in vain. As for the treasure we would have you recover, it contains the undying essence of an armadillo Terolvidrol. These steel hogs, as we call them, rely on their tough hides to protect themselves from predators. The legends speak of one that lived to an extraordinary age, perhaps due to its natural suit of armor, and it came to be known as the Lord of the Forest. At the end of its long life, our ancestors enshrined the soul within the steel hog vessel. For generations since, the divine blessings it bestows have been a great boon to my people. Those under its protection need not fear wild beasts, for fang and claw cannot harm them. This allows us to hunt in the forest without risking our lives. This treasure was so crucial to our people was stolen by a tall, slender merchant, or rather, a man posing as one. He came bearing exotic wares from foreign lands, served alcohol freely, toasting often to new friendships. My people came caught up in celebration, and in the morning the merchant was gone, along with the steel hog vessel. Aw, dang, everyone partied so hard they completely blacked out. Without it, we cannot bestow... Just another Friday night, eh? Without it, it cannot bestow its blessing afresh upon our hunters. The effect wanes over time. One by one, we're losing our protection against the savage predators which walk our lands. As I and my granddaughter, Sitolja, still possess the treasure's blessing, we've been tasked with locating the vessel and returning it to the village. A trail led us here to Tuliola, where we believe the perpetrator boarded a ship and made good on his escape. The journey here has already pushed this decrepit body of mine beyond its natural limits, and a lengthy voyage by sea would likely be my end. Although I urged her not to make the crossing alone, she is determined to give chase. Given your hail from across the ocean, your knowledge of these lands would prove most valuable to her. Not only that, but our quarry may use the Steelhog vessel to his own ends. Only a skilled warrior can stand against such a foe, and Sitolja is no warrior, I'm afraid. You'll have your treasure and 2 shakes of Armadillo's tail, especially since I'm already level 100, so I don't need to do any waiting between steps. I am truly grateful. My granddaughter's first port is a call of a place called Alamigo. You see, as the thief took his wares with him, the only clue left behind was an empty bottle of whatever grog he was serving. After asking the sailors here, it seems it was produced in Alamigo, and with no other leads, she set forth. Once you arrive, she should not be difficult to find. These days, only a handful of Mamulja even attempt the journey, most brutish mercenaries. Sitolja is a far daintier creature, and is sure to have made a favorable impression with the locals. May the Steel Hog watch over you. As you travel to Alamigo, perhaps you should begin your search by going to Ralgar's Reach. I guess that makes more sense because Alamigo itself is landlocked, so... Girabanya. Yeah, here we are, Girabanya. There is no immediate ocean, unfortunately. Which does make sense. It's, as you can see, it's a very clearly landlocked area. I have noticed that a bunch of people, as far as Stormblade areas go, quite a few people still go to Kugane regularly, but not nearly as much in, say, the Crystarium from Shadowbringers. Heaven's Ward is a bit more populated, but that's probably because of the expansion just dropped, so people are probably going into this trial, because before I don't require being as populated. There's usually not too many people here, and if you do, you'll usually see them around here. Because Ralgar's Reach is where you, in Stormblood, you turned in your tomestones and stuff for your weekly quest for upgraded gear. I guess the way it seems to work each expansion is you get one main city hub where the market board and all that is, and one major city where you go to turn in tomestones and such for gear. Jermaine. Ah, yes, I met the older girl you're after. She's looking for a tall, thin man. He's more of a thief, apparently. He sounded a bit like the leader of a gang of bandits that lurks around the Vijala. So I told her as much. Chances are that's where she landed. Hope she stays out of trouble. Oh, well, that was an extremely helpful person to find right away. As you can see, I've been messing around with my setup a bit. I'll keep finding it sooner or later. Delia. My Mulja, you say? As it happened, she came over while I was cleaning the cannons. Showed me an empty rock bottle, and she said she was looking for the bloke it belonged to. Thing is, this brand's all over Amigo, so I wasn't able to narrow the search. I guess once you're done with the Stormblood areas, it makes sense the place you'd most likely come back to, if it's not specifically, you know, like a quest here demanding me to come back here, it's probably gonna be Ralgar's Reach in case you happen to be raising some alt jobs, because previous expansion gear is very easy to obtain, and so it's very convenient for leveling new jobs. Hey, Donna. Yes, I saw the Mamulja on my patrols, but she carried an enormous axe. Not at all like the person described. I believe this is going to be out in the fringes, then. Yeah, the ocean's a bit further out. We just have a river here. Fold this way. Oh yeah, as you can see, I did in fact get the Capybara mount. This is what you get for fighting the world boss in Dawntrail. It's a capybara, so to the surprise of absolutely no one, is extremely popular. I guess since I'm got time to show stuff off... Oh, I can't even show those off. I probably could have in Ralgar's, though. Pop the trunk. Probably should be doing more of these fates, just because I want to do the, as I showed last time, I did finally complete the shared fate levels for Dawntrail. I need to do it for previous ones though, and that'll be a nice excuse to get the the gems I need for flying squirrel mount. You see the bicolored gemstones here? I have about 425 or something like that. It's 100 stones for the items I need for the mount, and I need 1,500 of those. So you can do the math and figure I'm gonna be here a while. Waylaid merchant. Ouch, ouch. There's Satolja. Sticks out like a sore thumb, but that'll make it easier to meet up. Here, let me apply some ointment. It's a common remedy where I come from. Chirpy chirp. Oh, are you here to lend a hand? This poor soul was attacked by highwaymen. I could use some help treating his wounds. Well, I guess dancers do have some slight healing. It's not great, but it can take the edge off if need be. Don't worry about me, it's my escort's in trouble. He's in pursuit of the thieves, and I fear he's bitten off more than he could chew. Please, will you save him? Seems we found our bad guy for this particular arc. Yo, yo, thieving bastards! Mulja is there. Once again, another mysterious relic. A supposedly unbreakable shield. What? But how? Behold! Looks like its weakness is it can't be. Looks like you can't attack it from the front. It might be weaker if we can hit it from behind, which a dancer would be pretty good at. Ah, nothing like a bit of divine intervention tipped the scales in my favor. With this artifact in my hands, I am invincible! Invincible! Maybe, but are you immune to a status effect build? Another one, huh? Not that it matters. I suppose I can't blame him for not thinking a dancer would be particularly threatening. Cool, it's time you earned your coin. Right, they mentioned a Mamulja with an axe, but she doesn't wield an axe, which means this has to be the one that was the most. Oh, I appreciate the existence, but I wasn't joking around about divine intervention. Some strange force pushed me away. I can't even get near him. Well, that's okay, because I'm a job that doesn't require I get close. So let's see how well her shields work at a distance. Steelhog vessel, return it at once. Also the stolen goods. He doesn't want to fight. Why? Oh, you followed me all the way here from a backwater village? Alas, your journey's been for naught. The vessel is mine. I... Chartifle. I think it... yeah, that's a... Definitely an Ishgard, which are usually French names, which means I'm never going to pronounce that. Or spell it. Chartifit will make better use of the artifact than you and your ilk ever could. By the might bestowed upon me, I'll become savior to the oppressed and destitute. In light of my grand ambitions, the vessel power be wasted on the likes of you. If you cannot hunt without it, might suggest a change of diet. I hear the acorn's a delicious time of year. Oh crap, this is gonna be like the, oh yeah, caster role quest. Oh yeah, this is the last one I'm doing, so be warned, I'll probably discuss the others to a degree. Damn it all, I was so close. But now's not the time for regrets. These two are in need of a healer. I'll see them safely to Ralgar's reach. Would you mind meeting us there? Once their injuries have been treated, we'd better tell the resistance soldiers what happened. Alright, sounds good to me. Yeah, Stormblood's one of those, expansions where definitely the overworld areas were hit and miss. Like, this... Like, the wastelands here of Garabania are fine, but, like, the Ruby Sea, I really don't like the Ruby Sea, if we're blunt. Not that it's bad, it's more that it's just nothing but water, and since the game has no water combat or anything, there can't be enemies in there, or anything that's particularly threatening, so basically it's just, before you unlock flight, it's just going to be a very long bit of travel time with absolutely nothing interesting, not even fates, because again, no enemies in there, and they're limited to what kind of fates can be used. It got spiced up a bit better when they had a tribe quest, well, I guess they're called societies now. Yeah, societies. But unfortunately, yeah. Alright, you can actually mount up in this area. I believe this area and Idleshire are among the few where you can. You can't do it in, say, Charlian or, Crystarium, Yulmore. None of those you can mount up in. Go. Go, little buddy, go! Earnest escort. Thought I could handle whatever ruffians the desert might throw at us. Some escort I turned out to be. Losing all the stock is a bitter pill to swallow, but we're lucky they didn't take our lives as well. Yeah. I'm getting vibes of the caster role quest where the guy claims to be there for the weak and oppressed, and yet he has surprisingly little empathy for any of them. But we're gonna definitely find out what his deal is before we get going. And now that this is the last one, this is about the point where I need to figure out what they all have in common, aside from, you know, being a bit being legitimately dangerous while also being kind of a meme. Well, I'm glad we made it to safety without any more trouble. Those bandits wouldn't dare step foot in this place. Ah, how rude of me. I never asked your name. Or how you chanced to cross us, for that matter. I'm Coda Blue. I'm here under orders for the roll quest. You came all the way from Tulliola at my grandfather's behest. I can't tell you how grateful I am. As for the highwaymen, they possess the Steel Hog vessel, a treasure from my village. Not only does it grant protection from harm, it also produces a potent blast and the barrier is dispelled. As long as our enemies have the vessel, attacks at close quarters will be extremely risky. Ah, that explains why he specifically wants someone who focuses on ranged combat. Although it was a little goofy when I was playing the physical role quest in it was in Endwalker, yeah. I don't remember which one I did for Shadowbringers, unfortunately, but I do know for Endwalker I did it with as Dancer there. I think I even streamed it, but they were asking specifically for a sniper, which does make sense for a machinist who uses a gun and a bard that uses a bow. Those can reasonably snipe. But a Dancer, I guess I could just throw those knives and chakrams pretty hard. As long as our enemies have the vessel. Oh yeah. Although, as staying in my village, cracks form in even the mighty of his shields. Knowing this, we were careful not to rely too heavily on its power. But now the Steel Hog vessel's been stolen, the self-same power is being turned against innocent people such as yourselves. I only hope you can forgive me for allowing this to happen. There's nothing to forgive. If anything, we should be thanking you for coming to our aid. That, Sholtefe, he and his lackeys have a lot to answer for. Indeed, we have given the resistance our testimonies, and with any luck, information will go some way to clapping those bandits in irons. I'll go with you. These soldiers here need to be warned about the vessel. No, leave that to us. We'll relay what you told us word for word. After all, you need to move quickly to have any chance of getting your artifact back. When you catch those robbers, give them one for me. Yeah, there's definitely gotta be a weakness in the shield. Even tank shields usually have a weakness. The invincibilities only last a short period, and the mitigations only mitigate so much damage. What about you, Coda? I hope I can count on you for whatever comes next. Of course, you can count on me. I knew it. I sense you're eager to get started, but I need time to plan our next move. Bandits aren't known for being found easily. I was surprised to see a fellow Mamulja among them. I can't imagine why Kakulja would work for him. Ah, so you know his name. So is he from the same village? I guess that would make sense. That would also explain why he was extremely hesitant to fight her. So, man, I don't want to hurt someone I actually care about, so we just step back. Bandits abound. Though hers is not the easiest face to read, Setolja's expression suggests she has vital information to share. Coda, I heard something that might help us. One of the soldiers has been contending with the same bandits who stole the vessel. I'll find him. Give me a moment, would you? Of course. Sorry to keep you waiting. Ah, when she told me she'd been sent an assistant, I would have guessed to be the savior of all Amigo himself. You're something of a local celebrity, I take it. Yeah, Stormblood was a pretty wild ride. I'd love to hear more about that, but for now, let's focus on the matter at hand. Yes, quite. The bandits you've been chasing are on a spat of recent incidents in All Amigo. What's more, it appears that Sholtefe is a part of a larger network known as the Pastors of the Unbound, which is spreading its mayhem far and wide. In particular, they've been carrying out raids on trade caravans heading here from Gridania. We've been increasing patrols on this route, but the bastards strike so quickly they usually make good in their escape by the time help arrives. On rare occasions, we've caught them in the act. They use some kind of device or magic object to deflect our arrows and send us sprawling. That's the vessel. It was stolen from my village, you see. I'm sorry for the trouble it's caused. As the one who took it, he said something about using its power to help the oppressed and destitute. What do you think he meant by that? Huh, that sounds familiar. Reports say the thieves are shouting something along those lines the other raids. They claim the merchants are overworking and underpaying laborers, therefore deserve to be targeted. I don't see how stealing a bunch of goods helps the workers, though, and there's not a shred of evidence that anyone's being exploited. If you ask me, they're just in it for the money. In any case, the reasons won't matter once they're behind bars. But for that, we have to catch them first. Our most recent incident occurred near the Porta Praetoria, one of the waypoints on the road to the palace. If you want to know more, you'd best hear it straight from the commander there. Anyway, I'll send word ahead to know you're coming, assuming you are, that is. Of course, much appreciated. Okay. Now, it is possible that the merchant leaders are just hiding the books, cooking the books, so to speak, to avoid it. But it's also very possible that it's just an excuse to get people to look the other way. Likewise, the fact that they only use it when confronted and otherwise still try to avoid does suggest there might be some limit to the shield in some fashion. But there's too many questions right now to say anything for sure, so too much speculation is probably not worth it. Sounds like a promising lead. The soldiers here were good enough to explain the lay of the land around here, so I shouldn't have any trouble making the journey. I'll see you there. Alright, thanks. Well, one thing I have noticed is that everyone we've worked with so far has been a family member to the village, usually a major connection to, the locks. Usually in connection to the artifact itself. Although not always. Like, the melee one was, they just sent their best hunter after it, for example. I think I found the right person. It's rather difficult to tell who's who in all these matching uniforms. Indeed, the face-obscuring helmets and full-body uniforms make it pretty hard to identify any individualistic traits. I remember this area well because this is where the main area you had to go to, Actually, is this still here? Soldiers surrounded. Right, I'm just the fighter. The Imperials are not getting ground last battle, but neither have we. I feel Stanley can continue solo. I know there's a teleport here to another area. Oh no, it's a resistance escort. Yeah, here's what I was looking for. Heading to Turncliffe. Yeah, this is where you went for the Shadowbringer's trial quest line, which is primarily about fighting the weapons. It's really neat, but it's kind of neat, but well, it's always been a rather divisive storyline. First of all, because it involves basically an attempt at a redemption arc for one of the characters that well, has been one of the worst. He's one of the main villains of the earlier arcs and did some terrible stuff that I don't want to go into. So it's difficult to forgive. Although granted, I guess even if when asked if forgiven, he himself says that he can't be forgiven. He's done far more than could be forgiven, so he just wants to make sure no one else does what he does. But I guess more than anything, I felt like that story trial fight needed one more fight in it that they didn't get, so I guess that's also something. I'd have to look it up, honestly. It's been quite a while, because hard to believe I'm saying this, but Shadowbringers was 2 expansions ago now, so it's easy to forget a number of things. Good, you're both here. My colleague, the Reach has told me everything. Alright, I can confirm that we've had several sightings of Shadafe and his gang in recent days. They've even taken ambushing our patrols. Whereas most brigands would flee from armed soldiers, these ones seem to take pleasure in goading us to attacking. Yeah, it seems like they're testing the limits of the barrier. The treasure they carry makes them invulnerable. It can also emit a devastating blast, but it's only effective at close range. He wants to draw your soldiers to close quarters because they stand no chance. That explains our uncommon boldness, thank you. That information will go far in helping us contend with these bandits. Yeah, they probably want to test its limits and also, you know, take advantage of the close range attack. So the archers are probably the best way to focus here. Sorry to interrupt. Hey, buddy. Who are you? And who might you be? Oh, simple peddlers, my good lady. I myself am Gridanian stock, and after learning my craft in the markets of Old I deliver all finery to eager patrons all throughout Eorzea. But enough about that. I hope you forgive me. I couldn't help but overhearing about you mentioned a gang of highwaymen. We've heard similar tales from other traders passing through, and it seems some stretches of road are more dangerous. In fact, bandits are often seen at a very specific location not far from here. If you'd like, we could take you there ourselves. Oh, please, by all means. Yeah, this, my Amogus alarms are going off extremely loudly right now. This is a trick. Wait, Dakota can take care of himself, but I won't allow any more civilians as necessary to go to an area believed to be teeming with bandits. Seems I have no choice but to ask you to go on without me. Sorry, but if those highwaymen do turn up, I wouldn't be in much good in a fight. While you head off to investigate, see if there's any more information to be had here. Well, I suppose as long as I go in knowing full aware it could be an ambush, then settle, I shall leave our newfound friend in your capable hands. Wait, if you say so. Well, I guess as long as you know it's ambush and you go in prepared for specifically for one, you can set it off safely. I suppose we should be on our way then. If we do run into those, you'll protect us, right? Leave it to me. Granted, dancers are kind of ideal if they have a partner, but whatever. Yeah, I knew it. Once out of your way now, you know what to do. Unacceptable. Either you do this without my help or find someone who can. Show some backbone for once. Yeah. They're not even... Yeah, they know that we know. They're not even hiding it. Should you encounter them, I trust you'll exercise some degree of restraint. We can't interrogate suspects if you reduce them to a bloody pulp. Just put them on their asses and leave the rest to us. As luck would have it, my fellows and I have yet to be assailed by bandits. Perhaps other caravans have some proper escorts. They wouldn't be such easy targets. Yeah, not even trying to hide it. Also, if they can tell anything more about Shutterfly and his gang, careful out there, won't you? Yeah, the thing about the dances, they're the DPS with the lowest personal damage but in return, they have the highest support of all of them. And range physical DPS are pretty supportive. Like, one of them is, as mentioned, one of them is Bard, and it won't surprise you, Bards always have a song active at some point to buff the team. The difference is Bard buffs the entire team at once, while Dancer gives more powerful buffs, but only to a single ally at a time. They're big nuking ones. Yeah, there's big team buff, like Technical Step. That's a team buff, but that's on a significantly longer cooldown, as you can see. 120 seconds versus the mere 30 for Standard Step. Merely buffs myself and the partner. Faintard Trader. Ah, hear that? Thal's balls must be imagination. Let's not dally here too long then, shall we? We're almost there. It's just on the other side of this gully. Actually, if it's all the same to you, we'll wait here while you go ahead. This is already more close enough to my liking. Keep wait here. If we say anything suspicious, we'll be sure to, scream. Scream. These bite does your sanity die. Well, since the big guy's not with them, this is going to be extremely easy. Doo-doo-doo. You sense a hostile presence. What just hit me? And there was no chance. Damn straight. All these questionably trained archers just got their asses kicked by someone dancing in a very flamboyant outfit. Remember, it's not enough we win, we also have to do it with style. See? Only the best style. Didn't want to waste that. You're back? Wait, you're back? I mean, welcome back. Yeah, the guys you sent to go after me got their asses kicked. You beat them? All of them? How fortunate. I'd best contact the boss. I'm sure he'll want to know all about this. No doubt he's still talking to your friend, the commander. They'll be glad to hear you came to no harm. Indeed, the only one that got torn to ribbons were those bandits that you were definitely not aware of. You'll never guess what, boss. He trounced them. All of them. Yes, understood. I'm not quite sure what to say, but he said they'll be here in a jiffy. Well, since I made the area safe, it makes sense. Is it true? You beat them all single-handedly. Yeah, they're a bunch of chumps. Gods be good, I'm glad you're on our side. Anyway, I'll take it from here. Yeah, I kicked their asses just from dancing. Imagine what happens if I was using a more standard fighting style. My, very impressive, and jolly convenient for those villains to appear exactly where we thought they would, but of all, I'm glad no one was hurt. Well, no one important, that is. I'm relieved to see that everyone's safe. It must have taken a lot of courage to bring Coda here, knowing the danger could be lurking around every corner. Are you sure you're alright? You're putting on a brave face for our, if you're putting on a brave face for our benefit, there's no need, I assure you. No, we're fine. Couldn't be, better. Well, then, I'd say that's enough excitement for one day. We best continue on to the Almegan Corridor. Where's the cell? Deals to broker, that sort of thing. I dare say it'll be some time for any ne'er-do-wells have the gall to descend upon this neck of the desert. For you, my friends, I advise you all not to stray too far on the beaten path. If you know it's good for you, ta-ta. Yeah, I think he was largely doing this to test our power. There's nothing left for us to do here. Let us head back to Porta. Guess I should give my opinion on that one, but like I said, it's been 2 expansions. Then again, like I said, I don't think they redeemed the guy as much as people like to claim he did. As I said, even if you, it does get brought up if he's redeemed or not, and it's denied about it. But I guess redemption's kind of hit or miss in this game. Like Fordola is another Stormblood character. She was forgiven extremely quickly. Like I was gonna swear not to bring up the. I was gonna promise myself not to bring up the main story of Dawntrail here, but it makes a good comparison. I can know how some have complained that Bakul Jaja was forgiven a little bit too easily. Fordola kind of had the same thing, because Fordola actively volunteered to help Xenos with his experiments with the artificial echo, allowing him with to do the Shinryu situation, and, you know, killed a lot of people, so. Not very strange. One moment they're helping us apprehend criminals, next they're racing out to peddle their wares. Merchants certainly a busy lot, aren't they? Not complaining, of course. Those suspects in custody, I'm sure the Resistance will be able to wring valuable information. I expect all the wrangling will take a while, though, so looks like being given an opportunity for rest. You certainly earned it. Take me to your leader. Sutul is waiting patiently for Resistance to finish interrogating the highwaymen. At a guess, I'd say the Resistance has been interrogating them for long enough to get some answers. With any luck, we may even learn where we can find Shutterfree. Hello, having a great stream. Also the tag. A number of reasons. Networking. Sometimes the games I play involve it. And me and the group of friends would sometimes talk about it on streams. I'm amused that's the one people like to bring up and not the other tags like, you know, cringe and... Wait, oh, right. Anyone who's streaming the Final Fantasy 14 right now gives viewer rewards. Well, I guess I shouldn't pretend I don't know why people would find that one amusing. Oh, thanks for the follow. I stream just about anything here, so feel free to stop by if something catches your eye. I'm sure the commander's eager as we are to put stop their misdeeds. These is unearth any useful information. Speak with the commander. Oh, they're down. The commander's down here. I've got a handful of weird tags here. But from what I'm seeing, most streamers tend to use those for networking, even if the stream doesn't particularly revolve around them. So, figure I'd go along with it, if only for, you know, that sort of thing. Here we are. That must be where they're at. I was about to send some for you. Glad it could save me the bother. And I guess the fact that people do come in and ask about it might be a good justification to have it as well, if only, yeah, if only for some more interaction. Note to self, add some more unusual tags later. The more cringeworthy, the better. I was about to send some for you. Glad you could save me the bother. I'm afraid to ask you both. I'm gonna let the criminal walk free, and I want you to follow him. As our questioning has revealed, the bandits are indeed working for Shadowfoot. If we cut one of them loose, he might lead us straight to their den, but if the mission fails and you're discovered, you may find yourself confronted with an untold number of outlaws. Of course, I consider sending my own men, but I suspect that by now the bandits know our faces. After Cozy'll display in the gully, I'm sure he alone can handle whatever may come this way. I'll go with him. If this really does lead us there, I need to be there when we find him. Very well, but if it comes to a fight, you stay in behind Coda, understood? I'll have the suspect brought over, but remember what I said. Stay out of sight until he leaves. And went down the rabbit hole. Good night. Alright, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's not a specific theme, but like I said, it does crop up now and then. It's rather weird how... It's actually kind of funny how many games I've played without intending to that do have some form of horror in it. Weird. It's almost like you'd think that was sort of a horror theme or something. I almost think that was kind of a horror theme or something. Yeah. Don't look at me like that. I'm sorry, didn't I? Aye, that you did several times. That as much as it galls me. There's no evidence to contradict your claim you're acting self-defense, nor is there tangible proof of any other wrongdoing. We have no choice but to let you go. You do have somewhere to go, I guess, right? Well, I suppose I could work loading caravans in Algari. Seems like a good place any other to make quick kill. I mean, turn over a new leaf. They're in the Gimp outfit that's... I think that's the level 92 crafted gear, maybe 94. Something like that. It's one of the early to mid levels. In that case, I'll be escorted, but you'd best keep your nose clean or it'll come down in like tons of bricks. Turn over a new leaf, my ass. I'll be back among the thieving mates for long. You better be best be right behind him. For now, all we need now is the location of the den. Do not attempt to approach. I'll send word to Alagiri. Once you have information we need, report to the troop station there. Alright, it looks like we're going to have another tailing mission. This is the chance we've been waiting for. Let's go. Hopefully this isn't like the one in Garlemald where the character specifically runs back and checks the hiding spots, specifically to force you to... Okay, look, I know I keep harping on that quest, but it's a really frustrating and stupid quest, and I hate it. I'm sorry. Now, let's see. Yeah, we'll just wharf over here. Luckily, I do think the ones in Dawntrail have been significantly more tolerable, especially since they didn't feel as much filler as some of the ones in Endwalker. Like the one where you trail Urion J, and it turns out he knew you were following him the whole time. Anyway, so which... Well, for Blunt, that made it feel like a waste of time. Right. I want to focus on the role quest here, not... Chelsea. So much for finding work in Algiri. He only just arrived and he's already leaving town. Oh, she said that, not him. Now comes the tricky part. Keeping our eyes and his eyes off us. Stick close and not too close. Follow the bandit. Your objective will be failure if we noticed. After him. Aha, free at last. Yeah, if I'm in anywhere in that circle, he will immediately notice me because peripheral vision. Stay behind a rock and break line of sight at all times. Gotta make sure I ain't being followed. Yeah, as long as you've broken line of sight, you're in good shape. Yeah, because I'll say this quest makes sense to be tailing him, because obviously we know he can't be trusted. Best have a look around. Oh no, he's not gonna do what I think he is he? Okay, he's actually... Alright, he is going around the rock, but he is actually going at a slower pace. not immediately rushing back and checking the clear hiding spot. Maybe if Garlemald did this... Ooh, what a pretty stone, worth a gil or two. Yeah, something tells me that Shot of... Hey, isn't paying his men if he's doing this. If he's happy about 1 or 2 gil. Oh, which way was it? Left, I think? Better have a lookout. About. Good, I can see him, but he can't see me, because I have the advantage of a third-person camera. Looks like I'm not being followed. Yeah, like, this guy does have genuine reason to believe he might be followed. And likewise, since we want to know where the group is, we have a reason to be tailing him. So, yeah. This one doesn't feel like filler. I could have sworn I heard something. You won't be able to spot us if we keep hidden. Yeah, I think it's just line of sight that has to be broken and you're safe. So we're safe. Hang on. What happened to the others that got caught? What happened to the other? Oh, that's not my problem, I suppose. I'll head back. Well, that... Okay, good to know. These guys have absolutely no loyalty to each other. Oh, my friends might be screwed. Well, that sounds like their problem. Oak. This is actually not very far from the town. They were really lazy to find a hideout. Let's just pick this abandoned... Alright, you mean the one right outside of town? Oh, yeah, no one will notice, I'm sure. It's not like people go this way often. Yeah, as we expected. Muslim merchants we met at Porta Pretoria. So they just to go out of the kindness of their hearts today. Not only that, but came calling straight back here, leading whoever they sent to track you right to our doorstep. Okay, so he's smart enough to realize this was a trick, yet he wasn't smart enough to hide a blatant ambush. Then again, I guess we kind of need it. Then again, it's possible he just wanted to gauge our strength or something. I swear no one followed me. The soldiers took me as far as Algieri and then went back the way they came. I'm sure there were specks in the distance before I even set foot outside town. I suppose I have no choice but take you at your word, and now that's worth much. Well, now that this charade is at an end, let's change to something less drab. Sadly, they do not get the ability we do, where they can change outfits at the tap of a button. Only I get to be fabulous simply by clicking on my dancer equipment. Shotfair, why'd you make us fight that bloke without the blessing? He could have killed a lot of us without breaking a sweat. Mere oversight, that is all. Oh, pains me to admit it, even with the invulnerability granted by the artifact, the likes of us are ever the mercy of the truly powerful. I never expected that Momulja would hire a wretched warrior of such caliber to retrieve the vessel. A pox on those interfering nincompoops. I see, so it's possible. It might be possible for my character's raw strength to overwhelm it. Or dexterity, since throwing weapons and ranged physical DPS use dex for their main attack stat. Timid traitor. But the Mojo girl didn't seem like the bad sort. Naive, but it's plain her heart's in the right place. You're truly apathetic. Acknowledge you failed miserably, but now you're sympathizing with the enemy. Yeah, I think this guy's got delusions of grandeur. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't rid of you myself personally. No, please, we owe you everything to you. Without you, we're nothing. They were all in on this from the beginning, with Chantifla pulling the strings. If this is how he treats his friends, imagine what he does to an enemy. Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, yeah, I guess my earlier gauge wasn't incorrect. that he claims to be all about being helpful, but then has surprisingly little empathy. You couldn't stay away, could you? I'm afraid that it's not possible, my friend. What? Imbecile! You led him straight to us! Kakulja, eliminate this vermin. Good, I was hoping for someone to have the shield so I could gauge what it does, gauge it a bit. Does it have a threshold which I can surpass? Does it only protect from, say, the front and not the side or back? It looks like it's a full round, but let me handle this quota. You're from Troll, working here as a mercenary, yes? The ones who hired you stole the Steelhog vessel from my village. We need its blessing to stand a chance against the beasts of the forest. I can't return home without the vessel. Either you return home empty-handed, or you won't be returning home at all. I'd rather not harm a fellow Terali, so get out of here before I change my mind. Oh, but what he said that her shield is one of the few that's still active right now from the village. Maybe it's possible that two shields can negate each other. That would be interesting. I've bought enough time by listening to your blathering. Don't let me catch you on sniffing our tails. Shotafi and his underlings are out of sight. I thought I could make that Kakulja see sense, but he was clearly in no mood to listen. I'd say our best option is to report to the Resistance members and share what we've learned. Yeah, he must have his own reasons for going there, especially since he's not pretending to be a simple-minded mercenary like some of the others we've learned are here. They've done a lot of retcons, do a lot of the previous stuff here, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Like, the biggest one that's worth bringing back is Erenvel. Like, if you watch my stream of the main story, you notice Erenvel oddly has an Icelandic accent, despite being from the totally not America's area. That's because all Vera prior to Dawntrail were given Icelandic accents to be in line with how they were in Final Fantasy XII. But they've been trying to have some bit more exaggerated accents for different characters from different areas, so kind of like Arknights in that way, I guess would be a good point of comparison, since I know a bunch who watch me also play that. I went ahead and gave my account, though I expect he'd like to hear yours as well. Regardless of how things turned out, we appreciate your cooperation in the investigation. The information you provided will certainly give us a lot to consider. From what I hear, you almost came to blows with a Mamulja, or Sellsword, or Cell Axe, I suppose. I'm glad it didn't come to violence, especially given the power these bands have at their disposal. Even still, we thank you for braving such a dangerous mission. No thanks are needed. We're just as much a part of this as the Resistance. I'm sure we can all agree that we'll need to work together to take down Shotafla and his gang. Their performance at Porta Pretoria showed just how cunning they truly are. It seems so, yes. I'm told their little act was most convincing. I'll be sure to warn my comrades against any similar shenanigans. As for the two of you, be careful out there. Sounds good to me. It's nice going back to these older areas and hearing the main arrangements of the main theme in the areas. Actually, that reminds me, I did watch a video that kind of revealed that all the main themes from even the 1.0, Realm Reborn, and all the way to Dawntrail now all have a similar cue in the music. That's pretty neat, and I doubt that is unintentional, given, you know, the musicians here that are at the helm in this game. They would absolutely not do something like that accidentally, but for now, let's finish this quest off. We still need to figure out... Yeah. All things considered, I'd say that went fairly well. Shotaflay used the same trick when he came to my village, namely posing as a simple trader when he's in fact a dastardly thief. Still, not even the most skilled actor could fake the fear in those men's eyes. It appears he has complete control over them, and they are powerless to resist. The only one who doesn't seem afraid is Kakulja. He even let us go when he had no obligation to do so. I think if we have a chance to talk, we might find some level of common ground. I hope so. And since I'm a dancer, I should definitely look at the more positive spins on it. I knew you would. I've never been much of a fighter, but I make up for it in other ways. I'm a fairly good judge of character for one. For most of my life, I've lived in a remote village deep in the forest, hardly entered contact with the outside worlds. Thought talking to strangers was quite daunting at first, but over the course of my journey, I've traveled to all kinds of places. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this: wherever you go, people are people. In the end, our cultures and places we grew up with don't make nearly as big a difference as you might think. None of us are perfect, and we do our faults, even if it's harder to find some in others. I believe there's good in all of us. That's why I hope we have another chance to speak with those thieves and Kakulja. I'm certainly not strong enough to beat any sense of them, so I'll try talking into them instead. I was gonna wonder, was she there that night, but I guess it did point out that he explicitly got them all drunk so they wouldn't be in their right mind so that he could steal it. So he did actually plan ahead. Having said that, well, I can't even feel a shred of goodness in that Chantifle. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough. Perhaps violence is the only language he understands. Things might get a little rough before he's willing to listen. We can save him for last. I'll try thinking of a way to reach out to the members of the gang. Give a little time, would you? Yeah, it could be that they simply were taken in by his honeyed words about helping, only to then be taken in and then put into a situation they can't easily escape. Oh shit, that would mean that would mean that's a straight up abusive relationship. Okay, let's save those guys sooner than later. And kick that guy's ass sooner than later. So Tuljaw's plan is taking shape. Alright, have something resembling a plan. First, we need to track down the members of Chantiflo's gang, then try to convince them to leave. Considering how terrified they were, I'm sure they're eager to free themselves from him and his outbursts. With fewer followers, he'll pose less of a threat and will stand a better chance of taking the Steelhawk vessel. Of course, we now know Kakulja and some other members by sight, so it shouldn't take too long to track them down. Time for another exciting round of Quiz the Locals, then. I'd put exciting in quotes. Rest assured I'm always a step ahead of you. Besides, your role is to fend off the bandits. And like mine should be to gather information. Does that sound fair to you? Honestly, that sounds like a really good idea. I approve. As it happens, our resistance friend stationed here has had some interesting news. Apparently, 2 of the men posing we met as merchants were spotted nearby, engaging in trade and conversing. To nefarious ends, no doubt. They were last seen in a place called Alagana. We should head over there right away. One has a beard and the other blue eyes. Assuming they haven't changed their disguises, it should be easy to find. Yeah, they probably didn't bother since, you know, that takes work or possibly even money to change their looks a significant amount when nobody in the new area is going to recognize them. At best, someone here might. Yeah, the main story in general has always had a case of talk to 3 people and move on. Even back in Realm Reborn, they had that issue. So, hopefully they can consider mixing up a bit more, because some expansions actually did a nice job of at least putting in some new things. I mean, Stormblood is where they introduced to stick the Stormblood theme, that was when they first introduced the telescope thing where you look to try and pinpoint specific places. And escorts missions and stealth missions were introduced in Endwalker. Granted, I wish they'd all be kept together as opposed to moving away, because I don't think the main story of Dawntrail had any of those telescope missions, for example, or if it was only like 1. Meanwhile, Shadowbringers had a handful. Well, Shadowbringers also might have benefited from the escort. I'd have to think about it a bit more. These are all just... Streams like this are always just my off-the-cuff thoughts, so sometimes I'm very prone to changing my mind and stuff. Eek. Hey, buddy, it's nice to see you again. How's it working for that asshole? Good work, Coda. Good morning. What can I do for you? You can start by dropping the Affable Merchant Act. We all know it's nothing but a front for your real line of work. Save me, Chantifle. Is that what you really want? You seemed so scared of him before. Look, we're not here to hurt you. We just want to retrieve the vessel. If you explain what's going on, we might even be able to help you. Why don't you start by telling us your names? Our names? Come to think of it, not once did even Chantifle ask us that. It's always you there. Someone deserves insult instead. Okay, yeah, this guy is absolutely the definition of an abusive, yeah. Time to all minion services and get this guy. Get this guy his allies revoked. He's clearly not. He clearly doesn't deserve them. Actually, what's that? I'm Avnel, and this is Pepin, both born and bred in Ul'dah. We were struggling to make ends meet until Shuttlefly, claiming to be a merchant, took us under his wing. Right, he said that he was just like us, exploited and sick of bending over backwards, rich and powerful. Then he showed us an artifact, told us of its power, and changed the world for the better. With his blessing, he could shrug off the charge of Aurochs like it was a swift breeze, making you practically invincible. Yeah, but notice how he's not using it to, say, steal directly from Alamigo or Rhalgr's Reach or anything like that. It could be sheer numbers or a fear, or it could be that he is concerned it might push a limit, or that they might find a weakness in it somehow. You can imagine how impressed we were, and we did exactly as instructed. At first, he told us to pretend to be merchants, scout vulnerable caravans. Next thing we do, we were joining him on raids. Look, we never wanted to hurt anyone, but we owed Shadowflar for giving us the power to strive for a better life, and when we saw what happened, those who spoke against him, it still makes my blood run cold. I mentioned before, he's also from Ul'dah, assuming he's telling the truth, that is. It seems to me his gang is mostly formed of people with similar background, but what about Kakulja? He's a mercenary, correct? Oh yeah, he was hired. He's so skilled I doubt he even needs the blessing. Normally he keeps to himself, but once he told me about his homeland, an ocean away. Taral. Perhaps it's not unlike my own. Admiral Pippin, even if you still view us as enemies, we appreciate you telling us the truth. No, we're the ones who should thank you. You've shown us more kindness than Shadowfay ever has. There is one thing, though. Although you know the crimes we've been party to, could you give us some time to straighten things out? Once this is over, we'll turn ourselves in, I promise. So we've completed the Mind Palace without even having to go in. I've never actually played Persona 5, but it seemed like an appropriate thing to say. Of course, we're not the only ones looking to cut ties. We'll try to persuade the others to leave. Not only that, with us acting as your men on the inside, we can help you take back your treasure. What do you say? It sounds extremely risky. Are you sure you want to do that? That plan might work. Count us in. We'll tell the resistance soldiers to hold off for now. Give you a chance to put things right. You won't regret it. We'll return to the den and talk to the others. Until next we meet, be careful. But if the others are so fearful, they might turn those guys in just to save their own skins. Thing is, that's not going to earn them any brownie points. It just means he's going to lower his opinion of those others more, possibly even as the whole group. Thinking, well, if those guys... Thank you for telling me. Well, now that those guys are, I'm going to punish everyone to make sure no one else gets the same idea or something stupid like that. To be honest, that went a lot better than expected, although it was fairly obvious from the outset. They confirmed my suspicions about Kakulja traveling here to find work as a mercenary. Do you remember his reaction when we encountered him? I had a feeling he and I are both from a similar part of Tyrol, and he was surprised to see someone like me here in Eorzea. For whatever reason, he's let us go twice now. He may be abiding and bedding a nefarious criminal, but I refuse to believe he's a bad person. I think it's worth talking to him, and for that, we'll need to create an opportunity. The way he spoke about his homeland means he probably misses it, which gives me an idea. Where I come from, we have a tradition of using incense burners, and if Kakulja's village is anything like mine, that fragrance will remind him of home. Then, just the feeling he's homesick and vulnerable, we will make our move. The incense itself is made from copal, a type of tree resin. Do you think I could collect some while I gather the other ingredients? I actually came up with this idea back in Alagiri and asked our resistance associate where we might find some. The good news is there should be some in this called the Last Forest. The bad news is the smell attracts horrible creatures, so try not to get eaten. Dang, I thought for once maybe I'd run into a role quest nobody else is doing. Well, it's still basically the first month of the expansion. Of course, people are going to be doing all of it. Especially, granted, it's probably not their main job, but it's likely an alt or something they're doing. There we are, oozing. Huh. I guess with the enemies here, that's a good sign that I'm in the right spot. Let's grab some. Weird to see an enemy level 90, what is it, 92, 94, something like that. Darn, the finishing move already ended. That's the only flaw, unfortunately. Because these are assuming you're in... Well, this was probably balanced assuming I'd be in at-level gear, and I'm in level 100 gear. Well, yeah, level 100 gear right now, so it's a bit easier. Is that a cobalt I smell? Sap, isn't it? This is what it smells like when trees cry. Actually, I have read up on this before. You know how if you freshly cut plants like that, and how it gives off a smell, that is actually pretty much a plant screaming or something to... Basically, the idea is when a bug or something, animal or something eats it, it tries to call in a bird or something that eats that in order to try and save itself from getting, you know, eaten. Oh my, that's quite the find. Once I mix this with the others, I'll have a branch traditional incense ready for burning. Unfortunately, preparation takes a while. In the meantime, could you begin the search for Kakul? According to the locals, Mamulja have been seen near the rivers, which runs near Rust. With all the dust swirling, I can imagine you want to wash it off somewhere. I can see myself bathing more than usual here. I find myself bathing more than usual here, so I can relate. Oh, hey, Kakul, how's it going? And I know we're enemies right now, but still nice to see you again. What are you doing here? I mean, I can do non-combat dances. You ever think of that? Oh, there you are. Here, I have a present for you. It's an incense burner. The metal case is an old one I happen to have on me, but I collected the incense from fresh ingredients, including some copal like Coda collected. Why not try lighting it? I'm sure the aroma will bring back pleasant memories of home. There's no need. I'd recognize this scent anywhere. But as much as I long to return home, I'd rather not be reminded of what I left behind, what I might never see again. As things stand, I've no choice but to continue working as Sholtefe's mercenary, no matter what crimes he commits. I mean, if it's money in need... Why? If it's money in need, I'm sure I could pull some strings to hook you up. The fare for a ship back to Tyrol is enough to buy imaginary Eorzea. At least that's what he told me. He said if I serve him loyally, he'll cover the cost of my journey home. Hold on a moment. That can't be right. People rich and poor travel from Eorzea to Tuliolol all the time. As I'm unfamiliar with local customs such, Sholteflar offered to speak to the ship owner in my stead. Compared to the journey from Tyrol to Eorzea, traveling the opposite direction is much more perilous due to weather conditions, so forth. Were it not for Sholteflar's skill at the bargaining table, the price would be even higher, or so he said. I'm afraid he's been screwing you, buddy. I've been played for a okay, yeah, even he realized. I guess when he recounted the story, he's all, wait a minute, none of this is adding up. None of this is adding up. None of this is adding up. I've been played the fool, haven't I? The unscrupulous thieving snake. He won't get away with this. I have an idea. You should come to me with Limsa Lominsa, where I can introduce you to a captain of a merchant ship that brought me here. He's sure to give you passage home for a fair price. To tell the truth, I was rather hoping you'd join us in our cause, but you've been through enough. Getting you home sounds like it should come first. I don't know what to say. Thank you for the kind offer, but I have unfinished business here as well. Though I may have been deceived, that's no excuse for the harm and suffering I've caused. I alone must settle the score once and for all. That's nice and all, but how are you going to get past his shield? Whenever you're ready, the offer still stands. It's a pity we couldn't join forces, but he gotta do things his own way, I suppose. In any case, let's head to Alagiri again. With all those soldiers around, at least we won't have to worry about bandits, which is more than I could say for this place. If I remember the Stormblood story, then for better or for worse, we probably don't have to worry about bandits here since trade caravans don't really come this way very often. The main export here, if I recall correctly, is rock, stone, and concrete, but this is Garabania. Those are fairly abundant no matter where you go, so they have a bit of trouble. Some of the quests might do it. As you can see, I kind of stopped doing regular quests after Heaven's Ward. I should probably start doing them again. You know, Kakulja is not all like the first impression suggested. He's actually rather sweet, perhaps a touch naive. Still, we can't blame him for being taken by lies, and Kakulja isn't the only one. I can't bring myself to forgive that treacherous viper. Thanks to him, we've been led a merry dance, and still have nothing to show for it. With any luck, our newfound allies will have good news for us before long. She appears to be somewhat discombobulated. You'll never guess what. Someone I've never met before handed me a letter who said they were asked to deliver it by a different person. There's no way to tell who it's from. As I'm unaccustomed to, well, everything here, I can't tell if the letter should be taken at face value or has a hidden meaning. Could you take a look? Oh yeah, I'm used to getting these strange, mysterious letters. I play Daggerfall, where whenever the plot requires you to get a letter, it just says some rando shoves a letter in your pocket, and it can happen absolutely anywhere as long as you're outside in the overworld. So basically, you can easily exit a dungeon and have someone reverse pickpocket into you. It's kind of funny, honestly. Coda is to come to Alamegin Core to meet with a man in spectacles. He must arrive incognito. The instructions are clear enough, but even so, this is suspicious as month-old milk. On the other hand, it could be from Alvin and Pepin. While this smells like a trap, we don't have any better leads. We should do as letter instructs, but proceed with caution. I'll meet you there. Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. Like I said, if you know an ambush or a trap is there, it's fine going as long as you go in fully aware it's going to be one and thus properly prepared when setting it off. You don't just dive in sight unseen. Now that you're here, it's time to get in disguise. As for me, even the most elaborate costume in the world would do little to keep me hidden in a place like this. I'll stick to the shadows and watch from a safe distance. I took the liberty of picking you an outfit for the occasion. Let's hope it fits, huh? The sash and straps are a bit tricky to get right, so if they come undone and your disguise falls apart, come back to me and I'll help you get dressed again. You must continue wearing these garments. You'll change back if you go too far away. Look here, I'm happy to... Okay, yeah. Guys. Oh, that's a nice knife. Well, if they start talking shit, I can just stab them right away. I think I mostly recall seeing this stuff in a tribal society quest lines. I don't think the main story has used it too much, or if it has, I've straight up forgotten. The game actually has a lot of really interesting systems like this, just now that I think about it. But whether or not they utilize it, I guess it just depends on how the story's going. Oh yeah, I can mount if I need to. I was gonna... By Spectacled Man. You must be Coda, correct? Please make your acquaintance. Our mutual friend Avanel sends his regards. Like him, I and several others resolved to make a clean break and free ourselves of Shotafe. You and the Mamulja girl have done us a great service by giving us a chance to put things right by reporting us. Now, the matter at hand, no doubt you're wondering why we must resort to such convoluted means. Simply put, it's to avoid arousing suspicions of Shotafe to those still loyal to him. As for why we... Okay, so yeah, they specifically made sure to avoid ones they knew would be loyal. As for why we brought you here, this is someone we wish for you to meet. For now, I ask you to remain in disguise. At least the good news is I know how to drop the disguise at any point if need be. It's counted as a buff like any other, so I can easily fix it. Your cooperation's appreciated. 1 minute, please. Remember, I got a knife right next to my chest if I need to stab someone. This may not be the melee quest, but... Oh, I'm glad we had this chance to meet. Would that it would be under better circumstances. My attempt to put a stop to Shuttleflow's wrongdoing ended in failure. I tried to seize the artifact, but he was ready for me. Even so, it was not all for nothing. Ah, did you figure out a weakness? Thank you all for joining me in spite of the ever-watchful eye of the Resistance. Oh, he even has some machines. The time has come to initiate the next stage of my master plan. Until recently, we've concentrated our efforts on liberating wares for hapless merchants, but that was all in service of something far, far greater. The disruption of our flow of goods to Alamigo has plunged the markets, and as a consequence, the city itself into chaos, exactly as I have foreseen. No longer will we be forced to crawl through the mud and lick the boots of the rich and privileged. We cast on the oppressors, they'll suffer as we have. Now I'll be the one rich and powerful and oppressing people. The meager shall inherit the land, down to the old order. I have invested our funds into restoring and enhancing discarded Magitech weaponry. Now nothing can stop us from taking over Amigo. Alright, so each and every one of these we've met so far has had a personal grudge against the city or someone major within it. Or otherwise delusional in some fashion. None of them are actually care about the Unbound's goals, just that they want to do their thing. That's enough, Shotafare. Your treachery ends here. All this time I believe it lies, but no more. Give me the artifact now. It belongs to Tooljaw and our people. What? But Cooljaw is Shotaflow's right-hand man. This is good. Instead of Amigo going in chaos, it's his own ranks that are in chaos. Silence! Look at this wretched soul. The Momuja girls turned him against us. His one and only benefactor. Be warned, should any of you side with this traitor, no longer shall you bask in the artifact's blessing. Now seize him or face the consequences. Yes, yes, that's more like it. Any further interference could place my entire plan in jeopardy. I must act without delay. With the artifact's blessing and its shockwaves at the disposal, I was given a beating and thrown into the dirt. Later on, my friend here and a few other sympathizers snuck out and treated my injuries. More importantly, my attempted mutiny will no doubt have him panicking as he struggles to maintain his hold over the rest of the gang. An attack is imminent and the palace is the most likely target. Ask you relay this to Satulja. At the very least, she has a right to know the whereabouts of the artifact. Yeah, but the thing is, why does he need those weapons if his artifact supposedly makes them completely invincible? So yeah, it has to have a weakness or a limitation in what it can actually do. Otherwise, he would have just strolled right in the palace, tanked everyone, and defeated them. He might not even have needed help either. He'd just do it all himself. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to be the strongest if you can't take any damage. You just have to outlast them. So what happened? Well, it went like this. Then we were right to trust the sender of the letter after all. We knew Cooljaw had a score to settle, but I had no idea he'd try to take back the vessel as well. Though we may not be working side by side, I'm glad to count him amongst our allies. Speaking of which, we must inform the Resistance about his plan right away. We stand a far better chance of stopping with their support, but given the power, even that may not be enough. Oops. I'll try to think of something. In the meantime, you should make whatever preparations you have, as even the smallest advantage may prove crucial. Oh, and I see if you change back to your usual garments. Not the outfit didn't suit you, but I guess this is more your style. Here we are, the mightiest shield, the final one. Huh. Feels like a pretty quick one. But then again, we still have a bunch of cutscenes, the last one. So I guess this one was a little front-loaded. Avenel and Pepin are on the way here. It's Shadowflare. He set his plan in motion. We would have come sooner, but after Cooljaw openly opposed him, he became even more secretive than before. He refused to share schemes with even his most loyal. Ah, that's good. That means he basically doesn't have nearly as much help as he might otherwise have. So if there truly is a limitation or weakness to this weapon, and we should be able to find it. Now he's used a caravan to smuggle a load of Magitech to the city. He's about to launch the assault. We managed to sneak away, but Shadowflare and the others will move any moment now. Understood. We'll head there straight away. We have no choice but to face him head on. While I wish there was more we could do to help, I'd best leave the fighting to you. Oh, what am I saying? There must be a way I can help. The treasure's from my village. I should be the one to solve this. Look, let's just head on in. I'm sure you'll think of something on the way. Thought I'd find you here. Satolja, you've already done so much for me and the others. There's that Shutterfly is tricked into becoming his accomplices. It would appear it's in your nature to help whenever you can. Nevertheless, your place is not on the battlefield. You must leave that to Coda and myself. What about your injuries? They were not severe to begin with, and those gangs sympathetic to me provided various bombs to treat the worst of them. I'm glad to know there's a few good eggs among them, but now that we've decided who's going, we need a plan. From the way he uses the vessel, it's clear there's one thing he hasn't realized yet. As we say in my village, cracks form in even the mightiest shields. There's a limit to the blessing's if there's a limit, we'll find it. In that case, we'll have to overwhelm it, either with sheer number of attacks or laid big nukes, and I have access to a decent amount of both as Dancer. That also might be why he never overused it before. He wasn't sure if it had a limit, and that might also why he wanted to use it there. But if you do, better do it quickly. Shotaflay and the others will soon reach the palace. We'll also share everything we know with the Resistance and ask them to come as quickly as possible. Now, be careful out there. I love doing those poses with the flamboyant outfit. I was very close to maining Dancer during Shadowbringers, but it was not meant to be, I suppose. Looks like we're entering the final phase. Still, at least we now have an idea of how this is all working. Interesting, though. I think this villain had the least connection here. Then again, I guess he must be like the caster villain, where he's basically just a case of completely delusional. Well, he seeks to liberate others after seeing himself there, but is too self-egotistic to realize that he's causing the very problem he claims to solve. As I said, my wounds are healed. Even if they weren't, I'd still be here. They must have taken the long way around, since the caravan won't be able to traverse the stairs. We, on the other hand, have no such concerns. Let's take a shortcut and intercept them. Then again, they may try to use the vessel's power to stop our advance. We best keep our eyes peeled. Your best choice is to lead the charge, so we'll wait your signal. Alright, time to grab a sip of my drink, then we'll dive right in. There. Here we go. Ready then, it's now or never. Sorry, this charging the battle stuff is new to me. I won't pretend I'm not scared. I'll try to stay out of your way. Besides, I can't afford to back down now. Knowing what's at stake, I'll show Shutterflow what he's dealing with. Alright, so at the very least, we know the leader of the Unbound just is causing chaos. We don't know what, but apparently it's enough that she doesn't care how they're doing it, just that they're doing it. Is this to distract from something bigger, maybe? Infiltrating the city was almost too easy. Now go, comrades. The smoldering ruins of the old order will be the foundation of our utopia. Dang, that's a nice set of wheels. Then again, I kind of prefer my Solution 9 bike. That's as far as you go. I thought I'd seen the last of you. I shall dance. Do you not see the artifact can lift the meek from under the boots of the oppressors? Not just one isolated tribe, but everyone's in their own fear. You call me a villain, but it's you who keep such liberating power to yourself. You're no better than those we struggle against. Only when you and your ilk have been eradicated will the world know freedom. The hour comes us to rise up and take what's... Okay, so yeah, he is completely delusional and too egotistical to realize he's causing the very problem he claims to solve. My whole village relies on the nature's blessing, but we never used to steal from others. You lie, cheat, and sow nothing but misery. You don't want to cast down the oppressors, you want to be the oppressors. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is the expansion of the fist, isn't it? Silence, enough of your sanctimonious prattle. Look who's talking, buddy. Unbound, shot to Craven Screed. Yeah, there's no way I pronounce any of that correct. He's also spreading it among several people. Perhaps I'm every bit as wicked as you claim, but what of it? I don't have to get close to that thing, at least. Does your self-righteousness make you better than me? I mean, there's a lot of things that make me better than you. I'm not sure if that's one, that's just one of many. For you and all his judgment and war with me, my hatred will never die. It's using the comedy. Okay, so what I'm getting out of this is the melee roll quest, the one that takes it the villainous most serious. Your item has all been synced. Remember, cracks form even the mightiest of shields. Can I mark Kakul as a dance partner because this is ideal? There must be some truth to it. Don't let up your attack. Yeah, it has to have a limit. Oh, perfect. He does benefit. Oh, you and me are gonna have a lot of fun, Kakul. Interesting. Even with the blessing, even one. Ah, I am doing damage. Oh, let's okay, yeah, he is taking damage, so it's not 0. It's annoying, but aha, you're powerless to stop me. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that, buddy. It's working. Place your trust in the proverb. Let's get out of here. Oh, crap. Once I've dealt with you, El Amigo's as good as mine. Oh, right, I've got a new skill now. Dance of the Dawn. That's the ultimate skill at level 100. Big capstone. There we are. It's cracking. What the hell's... The barrier is fading? Is this what you meant? Focus your attack on the cracked. Magic barriers crack under pressure. Damage dealt from the right is greatly increased. Alright, yeah, I'm glad Dancer has a bit of a heal to offer. It can't be. Don't just stand there and do nothing. You fool. What the hell? This is the limit of the artifact's power. What happened? Leave this to me. Keep attacking the barrier. Let's see what you make of this. On your guard. There's no use in fleeing. You've got to strike from distance. I see. Those are homing missiles. Fortunate for you, he's just doing. How could they shatter the barrier? The artifact's power is absolute. Clearly not, buddy. Demonstrably so. Behold the power of my command. shockwave will make work of you. Imbecile, show some backbone! Well, that was easy. How could this be happening? You lot, keep them occupied! I can't take it any longer. Oh, these guys have no HP! Run! Keep attacking the barrier. Useless, do I have to do everything myself? She'll crack eventually. I don't need help to deal with the likes of you. Broken metal. Protected by Steel's magic barrier. At this rate, I won't last much longer. I'm helping you best I can, buddy. Don't give in, Kakulja. You still need to travel back. I'm giving you the best damage buff I can, buddy. You can't lose to someone like shot a bit. Words of encouragement empower him. You will learn the fate of those who betray me. I can at least give him a barrier to help protect him a bit. Focus your attack on the various cracks. Here we are. We stole the vessel to threaten our followers. It's time to pay. Here we are. Ah, get away from me. Not so much without you, the blessing. Now's our chance. Keep going, you can do this. Yeah, his HP's dropping fast. Without the barrier, he really is nothing. He was gear carried the whole time. I guess in his desperate... While he may have been aware that there might have been a limit to the barrier before, it seems in his complete desperation, he just ignored it in favor of getting his end game in play, fearing that he'd lose his chance forever after learning that not all of his minions were loyal. And that desperation is what gave us what we needed. We got the vessel back, and it's still in one piece. I beg of you, give me the artifact. All the trials overcome to join the Unbound. Everything I did was for a chance at happiness. Without the blessing, I'm nothing. My enemies will live on, unpunished. Enough. I've tried reasoning with you, but it seems there's only one language you understand. I was wondering when we see that. It was mentioned explicitly as one of the powers available, but that's gonna come out of Lisa's paycheck, isn't it? I'll make sure she doesn't get too angry. All right. Never better. We surrender. I'd say that Shadowfay's plans for world domination are well and truly over. Not only that, but the Steelhog vessel's back where it belongs, or at least it will be soon. Of course, I have you two to thank for everything. I quite literally could not have done it without you. Now, I'll find out if the Master Quest is already in the game after this one's done, but I don't think it comes out till patch. But we'll be finding out together, that's for sure. It's finally over. Although the Resistance arrived more than a bit late, they've now taken Shadowflaw and his cronies into custody. They're lucky we were on hand to comfort the gang, or things might have ended very differently. I have to say, my first trip overseas was much more eventful than I have liked, but I'm glad I had the chance to meet so many interesting people. Well, apart from the criminals, that is. I suppose as much as I'd like to spend more time in the sights and whatnot, I suppose I'd best get back to the vessel back to Tyrol. What about you, Kakolja? There's only one thing I can do, turn myself in like the others, even if I was dancing to Codiflos too, and the fact remains I committed those crimes of my own free will and I must pay. Perhaps if I'm one day granted freedom, I'd like to pay my way home with fairly earned coin. First thing I'll do upon returning is to visit your village, offer my apologies for using the artifact to carry out evil deeds. After that, no, it's too soon to speak of such things. Wherever your journeys lead, you're always welcome to my village. Be sure to visit one day. How about you, Coda? If you happen to pass through Tuliolo, my grandfather would love to show you his appreciation for all you've done. Maybe I'll even see you there. Yeah, I need to turn this quest in, after all. I can probably just use return now. Excellent. I'll take over here, I guess. Here we are. Yeah, duties don't take from your durability anymore, unless you die in them, I believe. Oh yeah, it's a Yokai Watch Mini. Alright, whoever the leader of the Passage of the Unbound is, it's clear by now, she doesn't actually care about whether or not these guys are actually working together, or whether or not it's possible she might not even care if they succeed at their goal as long as they're causing chaos. Now, this could be to cause a distraction for whatever they're doing, or it could be to help herself to a relic while we're all not looking. Hard to say. Rahul, how's it going? Hey, Gramps, how's it going? Oh, your return, Coda, but pray tell, what's become of my granddaughter? She's got it, actually. Why, I'm right here. We did it, grandfather. We received the artifact. My dear, what a relief it is to see you alive and well. Of course, I'm glad you were able to retrieve the treasure, but that cannot prepare to the joy of seeing you smile once more. And to you, Kota, I must express my sincerest gratitude. No doubt we have you to thank for Sitol's safe return, not to mention that of the vessel as well. Absolutely, I would have been lost without your guidance and bravery in the face of danger. Thank you, truly. Anyway, we should be getting back to the village. No doubt the others will be clamoring to use the Steelhog vessel to go hunting. I'll be coming back to Tuliyola at some point as well, so hopefully we'll run into each other again. Until next time. Oh yeah, and the fact that all the members are explicitly alive and arrested at the end, for the most part, might matter too. We might need them to find out the truth behind their strange, mysterious, fearless leader. I mean, something's been off about them from the beginning. I mean, it's very few will just outright say, villain, we're gonna make a villain team. Some shields are made to be broken. And yeah, the Master Roll quest is coming a lot later. I just cleaned out some of the quests so it'd be easier to go to from place to check out places in the city. I imagine I'm gonna have to be sticking around here for most of the expansion. Maybe I'll probably change my home area back to Charlian after I complete a lot of the stuff here, but that's probably gonna be when we start doing the patch storylines, I think. Only an hour and a half, huh? I don't intend to stream for too much longer, but I'm not feeling too tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch games. Well, if you're watching this live, I'm switching games. If you're watching this on YouTube, this will be where I end it here, just for the sake of ease of splitting the VODs. Until next time, thank you for watching, hope you had a great time, I'll see you later.